close is he to becoming a Chelsea player, Mark?
Yeah, this was something that our chief correspondent, Kaveh Solokol, revealed yesterday. A deal has been agreed for the man born in Reading, currently playing for Borussia Dortmund at the Club World Cup. We understand that deal to be worth up to 65 million euros, which is around 55.5 million pounds. Just a case now of getting the medical completed for Jamie Gittens. We understand he's going to sign a 7-year contract. But amazingly, they're going to pay all this money for him, but he can't play in the Club World Cup because he's already represented Borussia Dortmund. We know this was an area of concern for Chelsea. They wanted to add to their players out wide. This is a player they've been monitoring for some time. He's 20 years old. He fits the profile of what Chelsea have been doing in the transfer market, and it feels like this is a deal that's only a matter of time before it gets officially confirmed. But we do know a deal has been agreed, crucially.
So you put him in the mix at Chelsea, and Joao Pedro as well, potentially. I mean, what would this all mean for Chelsea's other attackers, James?
Well, there's plenty of them, but there clearly is a vacancy for a left-sided winger. He's a right-footed left-sided winger. How often do we see that these days? But with Mykhailo Mudryk suspended, with Jadon Sancho returning to Manchester United, there is a need for a natural fit on that left side. Noni Madueke and Pedro Neto can play on the left-hand side, but I think Maresca and the players themselves actually enjoy playing on the right-hand side. There are so many options they do have there right now, Chelsea. But with Gittens there, Tyreek George has been a really interesting player to watch. He's getting plenty of opportunities. Scored the other day in the Club World Cup as well. And that squad really is being moulded now over the course of the last few years. There's been so much change around and so much turnaround and turnover in terms of players. Not even mentioning Raheem Sterling there, who will return to Chelsea for pre-season, though you wouldn't think he's going to be in the first-team picture whatsoever. So I don't think there'll be a real knock-on effect in terms of transfers that Chelsea would expect to make based on bringing in Jamie Gittens, because I think the likes of Christopher Nkunku, despite the fact he scored yesterday, I think it's likely that he probably will depart this summer. I think that's a deal that could happen. There'll be a few things they need to address, but in Jamie Gittens, they're getting something which they don't quite have right now. He loves dribbling. He likes taking on defenders. That's what we want to see. Only Jeremy Doku and Lamine Yamal had more take-ons per 90 minutes in Europe last season, which shows what we're going to get from Jamie Gittens. It is a very significant fee, though. He had a really strong start to the season last year in Borussia Dortmund, but in the second half of the season, there was quite a bit of fatigue. He didn't feature as much. He didn't quite fit into the system under Niko Kovac, but he's a player Chelsea have had a long-term interest in. He's someone who spent time training in the Chelsea Academy as a child over a decade ago. They're about to sign him now.
I love it on the transfer show when one of the guys' bat phones buzzes in front of them and they give me a wave. They've got something to say. Mark?
Yeah, this is going back in time ever so slightly. We started the show talking about Joao Pedro. Me and both, James said, looks like destination of travel is Chelsea. Now, we haven't had our transfer team to check this just yet, but David Ornstein from The Athletic has put out an exclusive just a few minutes ago to say Chelsea reach an agreement with Brighton to sign Joao Pedro. It's a deal for the 23-year-old. He says it's in excess of £50 million. Personal terms not to be a problem. It will be a 7-year contract. That's being arranged. Medical will be sorted soon. The Brazil international always wanted Chelsea's, which is exactly what we've just been saying. So therefore, a little bit of information there. That is according to David Ornstein. Like I said, our transfer team will check with our sources to confirm that information. But David Ornstein, very rarely wrong there. So based on what we were saying there, looks like it's almost a deal done with Brighton and Chelsea for Joao Pedro.
Looks like Chelsea are going to get their man, and that won't be the end of their spending, you would think, as we heard with Gittens as well.
Chelsea have completed the signing of Jamie Gittens from Borussia Dortmund in a deal worth around €65 million, 55 to £56 million. The 19-year-old winger has agreed to a long-term 7-year contract and passed his medical, making him one of the club's biggest signings this summer. While Bayern Munich were also interested, Gittens made it clear he wanted a Premier League return and chose Chelsea's project under Enzo Maresca. His arrival is a statement of intent, especially as the Blues aim to rebuild their attack with youthful, high-potential talent. Tactically, Gittens brings exactly what Chelsea have been missing on the flanks: direct pace, creativity, and one-on-one quality. He shined last season for Dortmund with 12 goals and 5 assists, and his profile fits perfectly into Maresca's possession-based, wide-attacking system. With uncertainty around the futures of Mykhailo Mudryk and Noni Madueke, Gittens is expected to compete immediately for a starting spot on the left wing and inject a new level of energy into Chelsea's forward line. His signing also signals a broader shift in Chelsea's recruitment strategy. Following the arrivals of Joao Pedro and Liam Delap, Gittens reinforces the club's focus on young, dynamic attackers with long-term potential. With several French players likely to leave this summer, including Maduka and potentially Christophe Nkunku, Chelsea are reshaping their attacking core. Gittens not only strengthens the squad but sets the tone for what could be a transformative window at Stamford Bridge.